Johnnie Walker Island Green. Is this an island you want to go to? Stay tuned for the Whiskey Whistle. Hello, my whiskey curious friends. Mark here from Whiskey Whistle, your wise choice in independent whiskey and spirits reviews, bringing you Island Green from Johnnie Walker. Let's go ahead and get that poured. Have you tried that? If so, make sure you leave me a comment, okay? Tell me what you think of this. That's a big squeak. Let's get that poured into my Johnnie Walker Keep Walking nosing glass. There we go, just a little bit. This whiskey review comes thanks to Tyler. Tyler, thanks again so much for trading a few bottles with me. I think he wasn't expecting me to trade back, but you know, I mean, like, come on, I've got a big pile of stuff here. So if you are in Winnipeg and you do want to have a little bit of a trade with me, let me know, and if we can make that work, we'll make it happen. All right. Now then, Island Green is supposed to be a slightly more peaty, a little bit more island character of a whiskey than regular green. Regular green I'll put right there. And here is the Island Green. And this says blended malt whiskey with a smoky island style. Now that's 43% ABV, so it's stronger than the regular Johnnie Walker whiskeys. Red, black, and blue. You know, 18-year-old, those are all 40%. This one's 43. So you're getting a little bit more there. It's also a blended malt, which means there's no grain whiskey. This is all single malt whiskey added to this from a variety of distillers that makes this into a blended malt. Let's see what they say here on the box here. Kulila, prominence of Kulila has been added here alongside with Highland malts, including Clynelish. Now, Clynelish is not mentioned on the list here for the standard green label. Of course, I'm sure it's in there, but it's not listed. And also here, it says here, the characteristically sweet and fragrant Speyside style of Cont'd. And here also, Cont'd is not mentioned, but Linkwood and Cragganmore. So it could be a very, very different whiskey altogether. But being a blended malt and having some similarities, the Kulila is a definite similarity. And I'm sure also the Clynelish and Cont'd should also be similar. Just a little bit more emphasis towards Clynelish, Cont'd, and Kulila. And here more emphasis to Talisker, Linkwood, Cragganmore, and Kulila. All right, anyway, so let's check out the color of Island Green from Johnnie Walker. Johnnie Walker Island Green. What do you see there for color? I'm pretty impressed with Johnnie Walker of late, as to me the colors are getting lighter and lighter. So this to me is your standard amber hue, maybe even -1. So you know, it's not quite, I wouldn't want to say it's 15 years old. The green label is 15. This is probably 15 plus or minus 3, I would say, would be my guess. 3, 4, 11, maybe up to 19. All right, now let's have a look at the legs of Johnnie Walker Island Green. Again, let me know if you've tried this and leave me a comment. Tell me your thoughts. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Is it your go-to? Just got to tell me so that I know, so we can talk about it and enjoy this whiskey journey together, folks, okay? All right, so the legs. What do we get here? Fairly slow to start. They come down nicely. And, oh, wow, yeah, look at that showy getting on the back there. Definite, beautiful whiskey leg show. And it should have a beautiful whiskey mouthfeel as well. All right. I do like the look of that. That's just beautiful. Look at that. Can you see? Can you see what's going on there? Beautiful legs. Let's check out the nose of Johnnie Walker Island Green, shall we? Oh, big peat. It's really surprising how peaty this is. Yes, I can tell there's Caol Ila there, but it also smells like there's some Talisker as well, which isn't mentioned, but I'm pretty sure there is, because that's typically a green label component, Talisker. It's got some nice fruitiness to it, kind of like orchard fruits, some apples, some pears, maybe some underripe peaches. Or underripe plums also. There's also a waxy note. Something slightly tropically, kind of like a hint of pineapple, like tinned pineapple. Very ripe gooseberries. But certainly peat is very dominant here for Island Green. All right, on to the palate then. Cheers, everybody. And again, thanks again, Tyler. Really appreciate it. It's very peaty. I find there is something well aged in peat, like a 15-year-old. Maybe the Caol Ila 15-year-old is in there. There's also a hint of pepperiness as well. Again, that's possibly that Talisker component. Fruity, yes. Sweet, yes. It's sweety, a little bit sweet. Clynelish, definitely interesting here. Clynelish is normally associated with gold label, platinum label, but here in the Island Green, it's adding a very rich bit of a breadth of flavors that help to make this work, even though I think there is whiskey possibly as young as maybe 10, 11 years old here, and as old as maybe 16, 17. All right, one more taste here. Definitely some nice flavors. All right, let's add a bit of water. Well, the finish, by the way, peppery, not very fruity. Definitely wafts of peat there. Some nice puffs of peat. I do like that. All right. We'll add one of these. And we'll let that sit for a minute. And then I'm going to pour myself a little bit of the standard green. This is the current version of Green Label. It's very Speyside-y. And in fact, they list 2 Speyside distilleries on the label now. Linkwood as well as Cragganmore. Okay, so the standard Green Label, 15-year-old. This one is very, very much Speyside oriented. A hint of peat there, not very much. You can definitely tell the age here. It's a bit smoother, a little bit more well-rounded, but again, definitely oriented towards Speyside with not very much Cragganmore. Sorry, not very much Caol Ila, not very much Talisker. Okay, so the Island Green with water added. Let's check out the nose now, shall we? Much more peppery. And yet there's still that nice tropical fruity component here. I can definitely tell there's Talisker in here. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. With water, the palate especially becomes peat-driven, Caol Ila, Talisker. That sweetness is very much minimized. It's still nice. It's still very good. It's still very delectable. However, I just find that 15-year-old, standard 15-year-old, a little bit superior to this in the total, sum total of the experience. Oh, and it gets very sharp, very peaty. Peaty, peppery. More peppery than peat. Very sharp on the palate with water added. If you hang on to it in your mouth for any length of time. One last taste. Well, it's very good. Now let's get on to the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Island Green from Johnnie Walker. What's that going to be? The WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Island Green, Johnnie Walker. Johnnie Walker Island Green, folks. That's going to be 84 out of 100. Yep, you heard right. 84 out of 100 is the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Island Green from Johnnie Walker. Now, for me, the standard green is superior in some senses. But I think for many people, a liter of whiskey that's got this nice peat like this Island Green for a good price, which Island Green and Green Label normally are, much less than their 15-year-old single malt whiskey components would be. Granted that Island Green probably doesn't have exactly all 15-year-old whiskeys in there, but still you're getting great value for your money, and 43%, which is a little bit more than the standard. So there's a lot of pluses here. Peat, higher strength, some well-developed flavors, some young, edgy peat in there to kick things along. So this is making that work very well. I wish this were available in standard retail. Hopefully it will be soon. Now before we finish, we're going to do one more thing. We're going to put these together. Standard green plus Island Green. See what that's like. Now, isn't that interesting? This is so much like the previous iteration of Green Label that looked like this. How about that? So it's kind of like they split Green Label up into a peatier Island Green and then a more Speyside fruity version in the new 15-year-old Green Label. Cool stuff. This is great. They're both great. Beautiful together too. All right, folks. Well, that's the review for Island Green. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, make sure you leave a little comment. And why not subscribe to Whiskey Whistle, all right? Hit the bell so you're notified of the future Whiskey Whistles through your email inbox. Or alternatively, download the app, the YouTube app, and just turn your badges on so you get the badges that tells you when new stuff is coming from my channel and all the other great channels you subscribe to. And lastly, if you'd like to do a little bit more with Whiskey Whistle, why not join Whiskey Whistle on Patreon? Become a patron. Patreon.com/Whiskey Whistle. There's 3 different levels of support ranging from $1 and up. You get early access to the Whiskey Whistles. You're going to get some merchandise very soon. Some t-shirts. You'll find out very soon if you want to get into that, okay? Anyway, take care, everybody. Thanks a lot. And again, thanks a lot, Tyler. Goodbye, everybody. Take care. Thanks for watching Whiskey Whistle. Be sure to subscribe. And don't forget to give this video a like. And leave a comment down below. Be sure to stay tuned next time to join me, the host of the show, Mark, as I explore more whiskeys with you. Take care now, and we'll see you next time.